Bree bids farewell to Summer Bay, but not before one last night with Remy. Onlookers at Salt enjoy Eddie's first gig, but Tane has other plans in mind. Eden and Cash clash about her volunteering opportunity, and Leah and Justin decide they're on different pages.
Is it true you only went to the barbecue because you knew Sonny was going to be there?
Who told you that?
It doesn't matter who told me that. Is it true?
I wanted to check on him after we found that photo.
I thought he just showed up. I didn't know you were expecting him to be there.
What difference does it make? The important thing is that I'm worried about
No,
him.
I know you are, and I know why.
Do you?
Yes, of course I do. But I'm worried about you. Are you sure? This is not just, and I don't know, you redirecting your grief.
If you're going to suggest counselling
I'm
again,
not going to...
I can't just click my fingers and change how I feel.
I'm not saying you should, okay? I just want to help you figure this out. Okay, and now I'm going to have more time to do that.
What do you mean?
My counsellor's really happy with my progress, okay? We've agreed that I don't need to see her as often, if at all.
Congratulations. I'm glad that you can just turn off your emotions like that after a few easy sessions.
No, that's not what I am saying. I went there to figure a way through this.
And you have. So we've got nothing else to discuss. Just go home.
Hi, guys. Any chance I can get something to eat? I'm starving.
Come in. You're just in time to congratulate my husband. He's just graduated from grief counselling today.
Second thoughts. Don't worry about it. I'll go home and reheat some.
No, I've got plenty of leftovers for you to take home. There you go.
We are Si and Sophie. This is Coastal News, a home and away podcast, your weekly episode companion podcast for your favourite Aussie soap.
I'm Mr. Brightside.
What? Are you talking
Justin's...
about Sarge? Oh.
No, Justin's Mr. Brightside.
Oh, I see. Yes. I'm on the level now. I get it. Yeah. I thought you were talking about Sarge because you're always talking about how he's miserable.
That's true. Even celebrating with a champagne, he looked like he was in pain. I might have to cut that singing in the edit. I'll see how it sounds. None of this will make any sense to anybody. How are you?
Are you okay? I'm all right, I'm glad it's Friday. How about you? Well, it's Saturday, technically. Oh, God. Yeah. I don't know what day it is. Anyway,
stop ruining the magic of podcast.
Glad it's the weekend. How are you?
Yes. I'm well, thank you. I'm well. How's your week been?
You mean non-homers or homers? Because
any of the above.
Probably the same answer as slog. It's been a slog this week.
You struggled getting here.
I've struggled with everything this week, and yeah, I need to get some stuff off my chest. So you've been warned.
All right.
How about you?
Buckling up as we speak. Not bad. Yes, I would agree. There's some exasperation this week with certain characters. We'll get onto it. But I felt like it was a little bit of a bigger week in terms of changes to the show, character departure, resolution to a storyline, potentially. But yes, to get there along the way, there's been some interesting dialogue. And I was thinking tonight as well, watching tonight's episode, are we looking at a Langham reset here? The much needed Langham reset. I can't wait to find out. So yeah. On this week's poll, last week, you remember I said to you the poll, people were sort of galvanising towards sort of 3 out of 4 surfboards. But this week, we've gone back to being a nice spread again on this week's poll. So I think we're not alone. Some people are really enjoying things at the minute, and some people are falling back into sort of where you sounds like you're going. So yeah, I guess that's a sign that stuff's dividing people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that gets everyone talking. I have noticed on sort of the forums and stuff, there's lots of chatter at the moment. So some of the stories are quite relatable. It's got people talking again.
Yeah.
Took a while to get going off the ground this year.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
I think January has been quite quiet on the old social media and everywhere for home and away fans. I don't know. I think January's just one of them where you just want to hibernate, don't you? And you don't necessarily like any kind of social interaction, even if it is through your phone, just feels like a lot, doesn't it? Sometimes it's just,
that's
you just
true.
need to just zone out for a bit. But I think people are starting to come out of the woodwork now. And also, I don't know about you, but I'm just finding social media just a bit draining in general at the moment with all the other crap that's going on in the world. So I think maybe people are putting their phone down, watching the telly, and sort of going into a zone to watch it rather than picking their phone up. Because every time you pick your phone up, you see something that you didn't want to see.
That's true. There's something in that, isn't there? We were talking about that this year, saying this week, weren't we? Saying that I think you and I definitely get affected by it, don't we? So
yeah,
you might be onto something.
You don't get a choice of when you consume the news now, because like normally you'd put the news on, or you'd read a newspaper or read the online newspapers or whatever when you are ready to consume the news. But now you just open an app and it's there. And you get slapped in the face with it, and you're like, "Oh God!" And you're not necessarily ready to consume it at that time, and it can just throw you, can't it? So I think,
definitely.
Even Instagram, which I normally just like because it's all pictures and videos and nice things and dogs and whatever but even Instagram this week has felt really heavy and kind of depressing, I guess.
yeah. And sometimes it's exhausting keeping up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just nice to have a switch off in it. So exactly. I think you're right. I think some people are taking their time. I think there might be a bit of like people finding the show again and getting it back into their routine, which may be different now if they used to watch it on the daytime, things like that. So, but it's definitely feeling busier again out there, and people are definitely starting to get involved with the conversation, which is good for us being a podcast about it.
Definitely.
Right, should we talk about this week's home and away?
Go on then.
Bree is prepping to leave this week, and I want to get your thoughts in a moment about it after I've summarised how she does it. Mac and Levi get that lovely hat.
And a koala.
Which suited her, and I'm thinking, why has she not worn hats like that before? Yes, and you're right, the koala teddy. She hasn't told Remy she's actually going the next day. Typical soap, isn't it? I've got to go, and I've got to go tomorrow. And Dana refers to this as ex-drama because there's this unfinished stuff between them. It wasn't 5 episodes ago when he was begging her to stay, and last week we were like, how unfair is that, and now there's this farewell meal at Salt that's been arranged by Eden, but she's already promised the gig. She's double booked it. She's having to cancel one of them, and I was like, Mac, what happened to I need notice and staff and food and and now you've forgotten you've even booked it? Like, someone keep a track here of these scripts, please. Because I certainly am. So she does have to tell Remy that this gig can't go ahead because, she's promised Bree this farewell meal. No. Bree finds this out and has to tell Remy the truth that she's leaving tomorrow. And then the gig is uncancelled and all goes ahead harmoniously. Only because the tension is taken out of things when Bree and Remy decide to have one last hoodoo between the sheets, don't they? Which I was livid about, screaming at the TV. What did you make of Bree doing this to him when he's just begged and said, I thought there was something still here for us. I was thinking, oh dear God.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. To be honest, I was kind of annoyed on his behalf. Surprisingly, I surprised myself, because there were no words exchanged, and she just kind of said, "I've been thinking about you and thinking about us," and kissed him, which is it doesn't say this is a farewell thing. Because the last time they talked, he said, "Oh, stay, change your mind and stay."
Yeah.
And then the next minute she's saying, "Oh, I've been thinking about us," and then kissing him, and I was like. See, it wasn't clear to me as a viewer that this was a goodbye kiss, a goodbye rumpy pumpy in the afternoon. So God knows what. God knows what Remy thought. He's being led into the bedroom. He probably thinks, "Oh, she's not going."
I know. That's what I thought. I thought, what mixed messaging is this?
It was awful, actually. And if it was a fella doing it, I'd have been outraged.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt like she used him. It felt like she wanted him to be like, here's what you're missing. You could have had this. I'm off, and I'm going to show you what you could have had. That's how I saw it, and I felt quite disappointed in Bree in those last moments.
Yeah.
I thought she could have resolved that with Remy in a nice platonic friendship way, like, I don't hate you. I've forgiven you. I'm really sorry about your feelings, and this might change things in the future. But you know what? Come find me in Brussels when you're next in town for a meet and greet. You know what I mean?
That would have been fine. I don't actually hate the fact that they've had a roll in the hay as a goodbye. I don't think that's necessarily terrible. I think the fact that he didn't understand that it was a goodbye thing.
It wasn't. I mean, just he seems to be happy about it, doesn't he? Like, and
he's got
the next day at the gig, yeah. But I'm wondering, he was holding a flame still, and I'm thinking, what's that going to do to him after? I mean, we don't know yet, do we? But like,
no,
that could have set him back a bit, in sort of moving on.
Yeah, you're going to have that hope, aren't you? Because he said to Sonny, I always thought that one day we'd get back to each other. And is he still thinking that now? Was he not thinking that when she was going to leave, and she would, she'd left without saying goodbye, or left without getting a leg over before she went? He might have thought, okay, that's it, line in the sand, that's over, never going to happen. But now she's done this. Is that hope that kind of we'll make our way back to each other thing? Is that going to be how he lives this rest of his life now? Thinking that it could be on the cards one day. It's a bit weird.
Yeah. It kind of left it all open, didn't it? When we were already closed on it, really. And I just felt it was unnecessary to reopen it right before she left.
I just think if she was going to do that, you say up front, how about, instead of leaving it on a bad note, how about we just have one rollabout for the last time to say goodbye? Yeah. And then he could have consented to that, or he could have said, no, I don't want to do that because that's going to mess me up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like the conversation, and if it had been the other way around, if it had been a fella doing it to a woman, I think everyone would have kicked off.
Yeah, I think you're right. There is that gender bias in that behaviour, isn't there? You're right.
Yeah.
Right. So I was a bit disappointed with her. I was. What did you make of her exit? Like getting in the back of the car and being waved off by two characters and nobody else.
Well, I'm going to say the whole thing was really sad, and I don't mean in a boo-hoo way. I mean just in a really pathetic kind of sad way, because even her farewell meal. I mean, Max said, we've come back early. We want to treat you to a farewell meal, me and Levi. Levi didn't even bloody turn up. He was still at the hospital. And if it wasn't for Remy's gig, there would have been no one else in Salt that night to have a farewell with Bree. So I thought that was a bit sad. And then the fact that there's, just Remy and Sonny. And Sonny seems to be at everybody's leaving do lately.
And well, this is it. I mean, to be fair to Sonny, he lives with her.
He does. But he's not known her that long in the grand scheme.
No. When you think of some of the other characters, I mean, Dana was like, "Oh, I'm on the night shift. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, have a nice life." I was like, "Wow, Dana! Like, you could have done something before work with her. Made a bit of a thing about it."
There was nothing, was there? Because she was like, "Oh, I can't come to your farewell meal because I'm rostered on." Okay, fair enough. But there was no effort to do anything else.
No. And you've got, there's so many other people. I mean, Bree Bree saved Mr. Stewart's life.
Well, she didn't really, did she? She nearly killed him.
Well,
but...
nearly ended it. But at some point she's been involved in everyone's recovery from something.
Yeah.
I just thought some acknowledgement of that legacy, because let's face it, we said last week on the show, we haven't really got a lot else to go on. Right, because that's all her character has been, is that professional setting, really, after the initial amazing start she had, I will say. So I just felt like there could have been a bit more, what about Marilyn? And that her and Marilyn had that massive sort of face-off, didn't they, about Mr. Stewart's illness not a few months ago. And what about her sort of saying, look, good luck to you. You are great, and I want you to know that despite everything. Just a little bit more acknowledgement,
Just anything.
But it for me, it felt like she ended as she went on. It was very fitting still, because that's what Bree's been like. And I can't understand any audience member feeling any different about it. I really can't.
No, I think a lot of people are feeling like she was the one that got away. Like, she could have been a really good character, but she didn't get the storyline. She didn't get the development. She didn't get, like, the airtime. She didn't get her own storylines. She was just the Doctor. And I know that Levi's a doctor, but Levi's got loads of baggage, like family baggage and God knows what else. So,
and it's interesting stories he's got. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's stuff that we'll remember and we'll talk about. It's crazy, isn't it?
But she hasn't got any baggage. She's barely got a carry-on suitcase, and then she's giving away her car. Like, she literally is leaving with nothing because she doesn't have anything.
I mean, and like I say, it's very Bree. We've gone months without even mentioning her on here. Because she's just not done anything.
No.
Crazy. I mean, you talk about that leaving meal and the gig at Soul. For me, that was wildly overshadowed by Tane.
No.
And his behaviour. He's absolutely smashed at the bar, isn't he? Right after he's obviously been told by Harper that, we're lawyering up and moving out with your kid. And I genuinely, and I'm really proud of my little self, because I've been saying on here, haven't I, that this is him losing his idea of his perfect life. He begged Harper to move in with him to make it see, because he's got this perfect picture of what the perfect father should be, and he just ain't it. It's all, and he can't control it. He's got no say in it. Harper's got her own damn mind, and she's out there. She's going. And he hates it, so he's drowning his sorrows at the bar, isn't he? When the gig and the farewell thing's going on, and guess who's in there? Jolene. Jolene. Stop singing. Now, Eddie is telling. He's actually during his set. What do you think of his voice for a start? Because everyone else has had a crack.
It's not for me, doll. It's more that, like, I mean, the fact that he's called Eddie Shepherd, and that is very close to Ed Sheeran, and Ed Sheeran has a very popular tribute act called Jack Shepherd. It all feels a bit contrived that he is the Ed Sheeran of the Bay. I don't know. It's not for me. It does feel a bit. I did think that it was a bit flat. When you compare, like, when Lyric used to do gigs at Soul. I used to. I don't love their music either, but it's at least uplifting. It's got a bit of a beat to it. There was an audience there. They were on their feet. They were moving around. Bree used to go nuts. Bree used to dance her ass off at a Lyric gig. But Eddie's was very boring, and I thought I'd have fallen asleep in my burger if I'd had to sit through that. If I'm honest.
Yeah. And you know what? We're not coming onto the pod on the Friday night singing it like we would a Lyric song, so fair enough.
Don't remember any of the words or anything. So, I only remember the song that he didn't play about the trombone. And that wasn't on the set list, but he did mention his haunted trombone, didn't he?
That's it. Well, innuendo always gets a mention on the Coastal News. But I agree with you. It was very Ed Sheeran-esque, like, in that department, very, very, serious. And I'm a serious songwriter, and I've been through bad times.
Which is fine.
But I
don't think I'd want to hear that in Salt when I'm having my dinner.
No. No, that's right. We want a bit of light jazz, I do.
And the hype that Sonny gave him, like, oh, this is great. It's going to be like the next big thing. And then, like, nobody was stood up, so it was obviously going to be a seated gig. Everybody sat down, because it's not that kind of show. But the hype and then the flat performance, I was like, oh, I'd have left. I would have left.
I think we've established Sonny hasn't got a clue what he's talking about.
No, bless.
But yes, you can't get anything past you, can they? Knowing all the Ed Sheeran support acts. So, tribute acts, sorry. So yeah, writers, nice try. Sophie's clocked it. Now, he's absolutely smashed Tane, and Eddie is singing a song directly at Jo, like gaze into her eyes, and it's about love, and it's a love song. He's written it especially for her. It's the first time he's performed it, and she's absolutely melted into a puddle about it, right? And she's falling back in love with him right in front of her eyes, and it's all the only two in the room. And then Tane's decided he's going to down his shot of whatever, and then he's going to walk over stinking of tequila, and he's going to sit down and he's going to go, fancy a bit of slap and tickle.
His timing is impeccable.
Literally in the middle, she's of course she's like, what? Like she's got her ex who's written a song about her. She's of course, as a young female, she's going to get way swept up in that, right?
Yeah.
And then she's got the hot PT just turns up and is like, let's get out of here and have a shag.
I mean, what a proposal, eh? But there we go. It was interesting. The contrast is so interesting to see. We're literally being slapped in the face with it, aren't we? Like Eddie's being all romantic and cautious, and I want to be with you, and I still have feelings for you, kind of. But in a romantic public gesture of a song, and he's just like, fancy a shag.
And it reminds us with an absolute bang that's all they are at the minute. Like we've seen them in the motel a couple of times. Like
it's so funny.
It just you're thinking, yeah, this isn't going anywhere, really, is it?
No.
when you look at the two literally side by side, as you say. The next morning, obviously she brushes him off, but the next morning when she goes to talk to him awkwardly, and she's like, and there's not a lot of Joe's stuff I do sort of praise her for, but this probably took a bit of guts, right? She's gone up to him, and she said, look, about last night, can we just forget that happened? Like, that's, like, can we just move on? And he doubles down. So he's like, no. Like, I want to remember that. Like, I want you to know that I'm horny. Don't you forget it.
I can't breathe. It's so funny. It's so funny. I was actually crying laughing at all of this stuff this week. I needed this as well. I needed a laugh. Thank you, Tane. Oh, it was so bad. It was such a terrible, I don't know. It's just not what a girl wants, is it? Come on.
No. And if anything, she needs to thank Eddie for doing her a favour, because I don't think she'd have seen this side of him.
No.
Can you imagine if same timeline as what's happened with Harper, but Eddie's not here? And can you imagine what he may have been like, sort of, with Jo?
But would he have been as interested? This is the question. Would Tane be this interested and this desperate to get Jo if Eddie hadn't rocked up?
Well, I don't know. He was sort of he was dead good about it to begin with, wasn't he? He was like, oh yeah, you need to explore it. And now he's realising that he's not someone's first choice. He's losing everything else. Now he's losing the girl, isn't he? So yeah, you're right. Is he clutching now? Like,
I don't know,
is he just going hell for leather?
Exactly. Is he that interested? Does he think that they're going to be the next big thing? Is he falling in love with it? I don't think he is. I think he's just gone, someone else wants her and my life is going to shit. I need this for my ego, for validation. I need her to pick me. To make me feel better. That's how I'm reading it.
Yeah. I can see it. So definitely. Now Eddie also sees it, doesn't he? He sees this conversation and he's joined the dots. And and he's gone, and fair play to him, he's gone to her and said, like, why didn't you tell me? Like, I look like a plonker. I spoke to Tane and was like, oh, you're such a good trainer for her.
You put her like, basis.
Yeah.
But he's cringing about that conversation. I would be.
You would, wouldn't you? And he just feels a bit of a tool on the back of it. And she's all like, and ultimately she has led them both up the garden path, as they say. And he's a bit miffed about it. And then Sarge throws his sausage sizzle,
which I was very excited for. Yes.
And Eddie ends up, rather than distancing himself from Joe, he ends up mucking in with the barbecue. And I have a feeling that's going to just get us brushed over this hurdle quite quickly. I must say, with that. It'll fix it all. Barbecue does, doesn't it? And Eddie does say to Joe, I need you to make a decision. Fair play to him. He needs to know where he stands. He's not messing about. He's got no time for that. And she then seems like she makes it by kissing him. So Tane is out on his ear, literally on his own. He's baby mama and baby are going to be moving out any minute. Can't wait to see that. And yeah, he's going to be all alone. So we'll see what happens. See if he actually, like I say, Tane gets what Tane wants, and I'll stand by that mantra. So I'm not going to rest on my laurels.
Well, he literally said it this week. He said, he said to Mac, I'm going to take a leaf out of your book and take your advice. And she said, what do you mean? He goes, I'm going to go and get what I want. That's when he went over to Joe, and I was like, he's literally just admitted it. That Tane gets what Tane wants.
Unfortunately, not where Joe's concerned. Not every time, anyway.
No, that's going to be very interesting for him to have to deal with, I think.
It was that scene the next morning. Let's forget it. No, let's not. I'm like, yes, Tane, you're going to want that forgotten.
Yes, she was giving you an out, mate. She was giving you a chance to say, oh, yeah, I was drunk and I was an idiot and I'm sorry. Yeah. And it was very Neanderthal of me. And no, he doubled down. So I was crying. I wish we'd watched that episode together because I think you and I would have been in bits.
Yeah, we would have. Just us watching Home and Away together would be something.
It would.
I choked on my coffee.
Oh dear. So funny.
What do you think about Harper telling Tane then that she's moving out? And because there's that's been quite fraught, hasn't it? She's she said we don't trust each other, which I do agree with actually.
Yes, I mean they don't, do they? Because she doesn't trust that he's going to run off with the baby again, and he doesn't trust that she's not going to run off to mum and take Archie. So the trust has definitely gone, and I think they definitely are doing the right thing by making it a formal arrangement, etc. And I mean, we said it last week. They need to move out. They need to get out from that house. Yeah. They can't live together. They can co-parent, but they can't be they can't be so entangled in each other's lives like this anymore. It's just not healthy. No. I'm actually really confused about this though, because she said, oh, we're moving out tomorrow, and then he got a text message saying that Cash was helping her move, and then she said, oh, you can contact me through my solicitor, because I think he asked her where are you moving to, and she said, oh, you can contact me through my solicitor, like I'm not giving you the address. Then I was expecting her to spring up at Dana's, because obviously Bree left at the beginning of the week, and I thought, oh, she's going to go to Dana's and move in with her, and Paul, Dana and Sonny are going to end up with a baby in the house, and that's a bit of a mood killer. But I can't think of any other logical place for her to go. She hasn't been on the show since, and she isn't living at Dana's house. So has she gone to Mum's? Where is she?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to...
Is it all one long day and we just haven't...
I'm going to say I'm trying to think of the timeline. Has the timeline really slowed down? There's definitely been a next morning, hasn't there, with the...
There's been a couple of next mornings. I think I was trying to work it out. We haven't seen Harper
Bree
since
went
like
in the
Tuesday.
morning.
Yeah.
I wonder if the timeline slowed down a bit. Mind you, then when you think about what came after, maybe it is one day,
Maybe. We need some answers, because I don't know where she is. I don't know whether she's on her way still. I mean, Cash helped her move, and Cash was at the end of the week. He was at Salt, and acting like it never happened. And I was like, Can we have an update on where Harper is? Where is she?
I know, because that's the most interesting storyline right now. To be honest, I think it's his block storytelling. It's just victim to that, I think. I just don't think we have time to talk about it until next week.
Yeah.
Tune in to First Look tomorrow, listeners.
Yes. Hopefully it'll be on there.
Because you'll know it's coming.
Well, I've convinced myself that she's either at the dodgy motel and she's going to be next to Joe and Tane if they ever rekindle, whatever that was, or she's gone to see Mum and she hasn't told anybody.
Yeah, well, it could be either or, really, couldn't it? And I think one would lead to the other regardless, because she's definitely going to be like, "F you, Tane."
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing it. It's my kid. So, and this whole thing was his doing. If he didn't overreact and go times 0 to 3,000 and mention the C word, as we said last time, then none of this would be happening. All he had to do was say, "Oh, I'm a bit ropey, a bit concerned about your mum. Would you mind if I'm there?
Yeah.
If you do introduce her."
Yeah.
That's all it had to be.
Yeah.
All it had to be. And he's caused this, and I think this is why he is acting the way he is. He's being down on himself. He's being, woe is me, isn't he? Woe is me.
You're right. I was thinking that all this week when you said last week, like, he's doing it, all of this stuff he's doing with Joe is just him overcompensating for how he feels about the Archie situation. And I was watching the whole of this week. I was like, you're so right. He's absolutely, he's absolutely doing it. He's absolutely doing it.
Yeah.
There's no other explanation for it, is there?
No.
So,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, Harper's going to cool down at some point, right? But right now she is livid. And I can't say I blame her, but like this whole, she won't even talk to him. Like, she's asking him to talk through solicitors. Like, this is gonna, not gonna end well for anyone involved.
No.
At least the child. And this is such a common thing, and I think this is why it spurred a lot of reaction from the audience, because this is
relatable.
How many? The child always stuck in the middle. And they're always the ones that lose out in the end. And nobody ever learns. The same thing repeats over and over and over again, doesn't it? No one ever learns from anybody else.
And you either relate to it because you are the parent that feels hard done by, or you're the child that grew up in the middle of it.
Yeah. This is it. Such a poignant story. But I'm loving. I mean, Harper's great for me in this, and we've all struggled with her.
Yes.
But I love the Harper with a backbone. I love her standing up for herself like that.
Yeah.
Mr. Stewart, let's talk about this. Mr. Stewart's talking about volunteering with Eden. Let's talk about this volunteering thing. So, she goes home and looks up opportunities on the super duper Eden computer, and she finds herself at YCPD. Now, I had to laugh at this because we were taking the piss, saying she's going to be a PCSO. Little did we know.
I know. We didn't. Did we manifest this? I don't know whether we did. Maybe we should be more careful about what we talk about.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's some concerns, isn't there? Especially where Cash is concerned, because he's like, nope, straight away, not the response that Eden was expecting, and he's worried that she's going to have a target on her back. She's the cop's wife. Why her? I mean, that target would be there now, like, let alone wherever she worked. But I guess she'd be more in contact.
Yeah, if she's supporting a witness and the person that's done something to them, decides to retaliate against her, I guess that's where this is coming from.
Yeah, she's going to be closer to it. Yeah. Exactly. And this is one of those scenarios where Eden's like, why aren't you supporting me? And Cash is like, I'm traumatized. Like, it's not that long ago that he went on this mad thing. They couldn't be together because he was worried that everyone he got close to dies. Like, that wasn't a million miles ago, was it?
I actually forgot until you mentioned it.
That was a huge... I think that's where we're supposed... This is what this is supposed to be from,
Yeah.
Everyone dies around him. You know, and that was it was a massive mental thing that he had to overcome.
Curse. I remember the
cash curse. There we go. It's all flooding back. So I'm like, yeah, Cash, I can see that. I can understand your reaction now because of that context. But also, like, he did agree to, you know, work on that. He did the work. They got back together, and he got back to work eventually as well. And then you've got to move on, and it's something she wants to do. You want to have to support it. So I'm one of these where I don't know what side I'm on.
Yeah, I mean, until you said that, I was fully Team Eden, because I was like, for God's sake, Cash, this is the first time the girl has ever got excited about something that wasn't playing guitar. You know, it's the first time she's ever shown any interest in anything, getting out of bed for anything that wasn't involving being in a bar. So I was like, just let her do it. And I said, you know, I was thinking, if it all goes tits up, you're there to pick up the pieces with her. Like, that's married life. So I think I was on her side, and I was just thinking, just support her. And like, maybe if you're worried about her, teach her how to, I don't know, protect herself, or teach her how to safeguard herself, or maybe even defend herself if it ever got to that. You know, give her the skills that she needs to sort of, I don't know, address the kind of worries or concerns that you've got, which are genuine. They are genuine worries. But I was in her corner, but now you're right. I forgot about the curse, and actually it's coming from a place of, like you say, trauma and being triggered. And this is, I hadn't thought about that.
I just wonder why he didn't say that to her, because then she might have come off the ledge a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She might have gone, oh yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. You know, and then they could, because I think if they'd have gone to Sarge together with their concerns, rather than individually. When he was going behind her back, I was thinking, you moron, when will this guy learn?
Yeah.
You know, trying to go behind the back. He does it all the time, doesn't he? And then it ends up being I'm just not ready for this. Another argument tomorrow now. But I think if he'd have said to her, look, it's dangerous, and, you know, everyone, you know, I've had this before, you know what I've been through, and you know, sort of I think she needed to remind him.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
And then
And
they
so
could have gone through together. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasn't very explicit about it, but I feel like that's what we should have been understanding from it.
I think you're right. I think you're spot on. I just hadn't put two and two together, but now you've said that, it makes perfect sense now. I was calling him all sorts of things, and I'm a Cash fan, and I was like, you're a galah, because, like you say, the sneaking behind his back, the talking to David thing really annoyed me. And actually, I was quite satisfied when David dropped him in it, because I was like, yeah, fair enough, David. Like, drop him in it. He deserves it. So, and that's coming from someone who, you know, puts cash.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know where mine's gone. Yes, my mind is somewhere else. But I put Cash on like a pedestal, so if I can say that he's being a galah, you know it's bad.
Yeah. So I'm glad I could help you then with your.
You did.
Yeah.
Yes, this is why this is really helpful, because you teach me things that I didn't see.
Well, and you all, and the same. You know, there's all sorts I don't see. But yeah, no, I think that's what's supposed to be going on here. So it'll be interesting if Eden goes through with this. Like, if we end up in a dangerous sitch, what's going to go down? Because I think that could be difficult for Cash.
Is he going to say, I told you so as well? Is it going to be a case of, well, I told you it was going to be dangerous?
Yeah, I think as well, Eden is going to end up feeling guilty. Because provided whatever situation arises, she survives. Like, you know, that she's going to instill this, you know, she's going to like trigger him, you know, and she's going to be like, oh God, what have I done? You know.
And it is a very dangerous 50-person community, Summer Bay, isn't it?
Well, you're telling me, you know, especially for women.
Yes.
No, Tane had to do self-defense classes.
That's true. Maybe that's
to keep the women safe.
Maybe that's what she needs to do. She needs to do a bit of compromising with cash and say, I know you think that I can't, I'm going to be in trouble and I can't look after myself. How about I do some self-defense classes, and how about I do, some safeguarding courses and how to, how to keep
try and
people at arm's
reassure
length.
him.
Yeah, and then you can be like, well, yeah, and then I'll come to you if something happens. I'll come to you, obviously, but just give her a bit of freedom. I mean, this is literally the first time in ages that she's had any glimpse of a storyline of her own that hasn't involved lyric or So I actually think this is really good. I think this could be a really interesting story.
Yeah, I do, and it's a new job, right? So like it's when something bad's going down, which it does regularly. It's a different character who's going to be there at the hospital or be there at the police station, or we're going to get a lot of different. We're going to get some different stuff when something's going on.
We could potentially see some extras that we wouldn't normally see, because there could be some extras in the police station that are going through something. We don't need to know their whole backstory or whatever, but we can see them for a couple of episodes or
it could be a way of introducing. Yeah, that's it. So bring it on. And Eden, obviously, I think Steph's great.
Yeah.
So I think she'd be really good in that role, to be honest.
Yeah.
It is just a bit out of the blue. I think that's why it's hard, really, to sort of picture right now. We've just got to go with it, I think, and just take it for what it is, and then decide when we get there what we think of it.
I'm sure we will.
And speaking of Taj David, he's been chasing up this week about the sentencing of Wendell, getting a bit frustrated, isn't he, because he's being kept out of the loop, only to find out it's happening after it started, which sounds like a deliberate move, because perhaps his personal closeness to the case, it sounds like they've perhaps withheld information from him. And he actually says, doesn't he, when he finds out, I don't know if I can be there. He's talking to Cash at the time. Don't know if this is something I can go to. So actually, whoever he's speaking to at the DPP might have been onto something, to be honest.
I think they are supposed to tell the victims, though, aren't they? They're supposed to contact the victims, especially because they've all given statements. So I think they're supposed to tell them that they're being sentenced.
Yeah, this is where the poetic license comes in for being a soap opera.
Yeah,
because the whole thing's ridiculous. There's no way you wouldn't know. Such a high-profile person as well.
Yeah.
It would be news. We'd have blooming, what's his face from our joint there
again?
Peter Rolfe. He'd be there again, wouldn't he? So, it would be big news. So it's interesting that this is what they've chosen to do. And presumably because they're rushing through it, because the storyline is mainly about Leah, isn't it? And her reaction to it all. Again. So, long story short, Wendell's got life. Now, I don't know if I heard it. There was some chatter in the room at the time, and I couldn't bother rewinding. But did you just get one life sentence?
Yeah, it sounded like he got one life sentence, 25 years minimum, no parole or something.
Not two counts.
Don't know. I don't think so.
He's murdered two people. He's pleaded guilty to killing two people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be happy with that sentence personally. Everyone, I mean, they're cracking champagne and all sorts.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. Maybe. But then normally if you get two sentences, they run concurrently anyway, so it'd still be 25 years.
Yeah, but it's about closure for you, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, true.
Because I'd be thinking, unless that's the point, because obviously we've got this point there. I loved this, right? And I think this was clever of the show. And I know this is because we're thinking way too deep about the show. We should be. But we then spend the aftermath of this with two very different ways of dealing with it, playing out side by side. So the Langhams are like, closure, finally, we can move on. The girls are talking again. Dave, I mean, he has his little cry, doesn't he? His photograph, which was a nice moment, but on his own, like a man does. But, they're all, as a family unit again, they're at that end point of coming through something, and then that's peppered in with Leah, like, not knowing what to do with it still. Her and Justin are in pieces at this point. It's causing major problems with Sonny. She's completely misreading that situation, isn't she? And I just thought that was quite clever to play them side by side. And I'm wondering now we're talking out loud, this is fresh off my head, whether the reason there was one life sentence is to facilitate that. Because I would be thinking, if I was one of those families, well, that's for one of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess in my kind of legal-minded brain, I'm thinking, was it murder? Theo was murder, wasn't he? Because he drove his car intentionally forward at a person. He drove it at Lacey, but he drove it at a person with the intention of hurting someone, and the consequence of that could be murder because they could have died. With the wife, I don't know whether you classify that as murder or vehicular manslaughter or whatever the alternative, because he didn't mean to kill her. He was careless. He was
just fled off.
It was an accident and he left her to die. I don't know whether that's for murder. You need motive, means, and opportunity, and I don't know whether it has motive.
All right, Morag. Bloody hell.
So I don't know is the honest answer. I don't know what. We never actually got told what he was charged with. He just got charged with what happened, and it wasn't specific. We weren't given like a list of charges. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't think that it would have just been like one count of murder, one count of manslaughter. I think it would have been not phoning an ambulance, concealing evidence. There would have been a whole raft of charges that he'd be actually guilty of. So
true. Yeah.
I don't know. You, maybe the sentence doesn't fit the crimes that he did. I don't know.
I don't think it sounds good enough, but that's me and watching soap.
And
I'm trying to join some dots that might not be there. With sort of this Leah thing. But yeah, no, I take it. Your legal advice.
Because he got his car fixed, to hide the fact that that's evidence, because they no longer had the dented car to match to the, the car that was hit and that kind of thing. So I think he's actually guilty of so many things.
Yeah, and he's used like corruption in a government office or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Where you made things disappear, didn't he, and got covered up, and so
but it's soap, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it. So what we need to take from this is he's going down for a long time, and everyone's supposed to now be relieved with that.
Yes.
Of course, Leah isn't now. Leah's been battling with sort of Sonny telling her to stay away, hasn't she, the last couple of weeks? And this week, I mean, she seems to have gone backwards with it in terms of she's like pestering him again. We saw her sneaking into his house last week, and then this week she's been up to see Theo's grave, hasn't she? And she's seen a photograph on it. And actually, at this point, I fell for it even because I thought she was doing a nice sort of progressed thing, right? Because she gets Sonny to go for this walk on the flat beach with her, doesn't she? And he's like, oh, I realise now that, you're grieving as well, and and I've been a bit, I've been leaning on you too much, sort of thing. And obviously he shuts her down, doesn't he, Sonny, and says, you need to lean on your husband. I don't, this is too much for me. And I thought, oh, do you know what, Sonny? She was showing signs of like acknowledging that she's been a lot. Do you know what I mean there? And I was a bit cross with him in the moment. At that point, I thought, do you know what, Sonny? Fair enough. And then afterwards, I thought, oh no, forget it. I was wrong, because I thought, she just then doesn't drop it, does she?
No. Yeah.
She gets herself to the barbecue only when she finds out Sonny's there. She later on, she's going back to visit him at the house, interrupting him and Dana. Dana's at the end of her tether, and I don't blame her. At this point, Justin's trying to say to her, "You're not like a bloody leftover seed, I'm gonna take this." Like, no, you're not. Like, Justin is doing what we have been saying for weeks, going about it the wrong way. Because every time he tries to talk to her, he's having a go. and that's getting her back up immediately. And then she has a go back, and they're just going round this loop, aren't they, of having a go at each other. It's just going nowhere. Even poor John nearly was in the firing line at one point. So we're no further along, and there's a moment where Leah sort of says, "Oh, she sits him down and she's like, look, we're just not on the same page, are we? And she sees him as getting progress from the counsellor, as him gloating.
It was awful, that scene. I felt so bad for Justin. It was
the
horrible.
Guy can't do right for wrong, can he?
Did she say something like, congratulations for graduating grief counselling or something? I was like, the poor guy, he's lost most of his family to like violent deaths, violent crimes, and his parents were murdered by drug dealers. His brother was shot.
Good point.
His brother was shot in a hospital siege. This guy knows death, right? He's been here before. He's had to do the grief before. And just because he's found a way of coping doesn't mean that he's not hurting. It drove me mad, this.
I know. And when she said to him, you obviously didn't care about Theo as much as I did. I thought, who are you to say that?
That was awful.
Just because he's not stalking the newest cast member. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
She's really, really, really doing my Sweden.
Yeah, I was getting to the point at the end of the week where I was like, I think I'm as pissed off as Dana, because I think the letter was what tipped me over the edge, because when we saw her writing the letter, like, Dear Sonny, she was sitting in the diner, wasn't she, writing the letter? And I was
Carrie Bradshaw moment.
She was. And I was like, oh God, no, not again. Get me off the merry-go-round. I can't do this anymore. But then I expected her, I guess unreasonably, to put it through the letterbox, not to let herself in with the spare key again and put it under the bedroom door. And
What the hell?
What the hell? When Dana said that, when she said it was under the bedroom door, I was like, no, she's gone too far. This is too much. I'm so annoyed. I'm annoyed with Leah because she's being very Leah and very... Everything's about her. Everything's about her and her grief, and no one else feels it, blah, 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 blah. And Justin's not feeling it. And Justin's driving me just as mental, because Justin just keeps going over to her and going, so you did this, did you? So you did that, did you? And I'm like, did this work the last 300 times you tried this with her? No, this only leads to arguments, and it's driving me up the bloody wall. I can't deal with Justin pecking her head. I swear to God, the guy just needs to go and sleep in the garage for a bit and give us some room.
Do you know what? I think you're onto something. I think he needs to just say to her, I'm out of here.
Yes.
And because she's telling you you're not helping her, you're no use to her. Like, I think there's a moment where it's like, I need to spend a couple of nights just working on myself. I can't be around her. And I know that looks really unsupportive, doesn't it? That's the problem.
Yeah, it does. But I think if he can't support her in the way that she wants him to, because she has told him, like she said, she's told him quite black and white that the reason why she runs to Sonny is because Sonny takes her mind off it. Sonny makes her laugh. Sonny makes her smile. And all Justin does is peck at her and go, oh, you went there, did you? Oh, you didn't come to me, did you? And I just think, why don't you try something different? Why don't you try what Sonny does? All Sonny does is just sit there quietly and listen to her and then go, yeah, I know how you feel. Whereas Justin just goes, oh, yeah, well, there's worse things going on, or and he just says the wrong. He just literally says,
look
the
on the
worst
bright
thing.
side.
Oh, there's a silver lining. Look on the bright side. He just says the wrong thing every time, and I just think, stop trying to fill the gaps and just sit there and listen to her. That's all.
Just be. Yeah,
that's all Sonny's doing. He's not actually. When you look at the conversations that she has with Sonny, he's not actually doing anything.
Well, no, and now I would argue, like, Sonny telling her to back off is probably he's probably entering Justin territory. I would actually say, right, if Justin suggested to Leah now, let's have an hour on the PlayStation.
Yes.
Right? I think she'd kick off at him.
She probably
Whereas
would.
when Sonny said it, she did it. And I think it's because he's external from the family.
Yeah.
I think it's because he's an outsider that she's gone to him and it works better. And also, like, she's she's projecting it onto the nearest thing, and unfortunately, that does seem to be Justin. That she's acting her grief outwards, and she's lashing out on him, when it's her partner, and unfortunately, that's what you do with your partner sometimes, doesn't it? You laden them.
Yes. Because you can push your partner, you can't push a stranger.
Yeah. This is it. So I think that's where we're at with it all, to be honest. I think if Justin said verbatim anything that Sonny says to her, he'll say it wrong. It'll be wrong.
True. He just needs to be quiet, I think. I think he just needs to... There was a moment in the diner when Cash came in to tell them about the sentencing. He said, "Oh, I've just popped in to tell you that the sentencing is happening right now." And she went mad, didn't she? She was like, "Oh, why didn't we know about it? How long is it going to take?" And Cash was like, "Oh, it could take a day, it could take 2 days, it could take a week." And she was like, "But why? Like, he's guilty." And Cash was like, "Yeah, but they need to go over the victim impact statements. They need to go over, to actually come to a conclusion. It's not about whether he's guilty. We know he's guilty, he's pleaded guilty, but it's about the severity of the sentence, the length of the sentence, and they have to take it all into account." So, he was just explaining very calmly, like, and she was kicking off. And you can kind of understand that, but then what Justin did was kind of just try and mansplain to her and just go, "It is what it is, Leah, calm down." And I thought, you didn't actually need to talk then, Justin. All you need to do was grab her and hold her.
Hold her hand or something.
She just needs to feel support. She didn't even need the words, and you're really bad at that. Like, don't talk.
Yeah.
Just be quiet.
Yeah, no, I agree. Every time he opens his mouth, you think, shut it.
I know. Just hold her. Just give her space. Give her, listen to her, and don't listen to respond, which is what he does. He listens, and then he goes, "Oh yeah, I've got an idea." And I'm like, no, just listen. Don't even try and come up with a thing. You can't make her feel better by telling her something.
And we're not, and this isn't you and I letting her off. We're saying as well, like, that she's
unreasonable.
But like, it's on both counts, isn't it?
They're just making each other worse, and I just think, it's going to get to a point
that's
now.
one thing. That's one thing I do agree with Leah, that they are making each other miserable.
Yeah.
I think you've hit there. I think a bit of space might help. Although, does that make things worse for Sonny then? Because, that opens Leah up to her own will, her own free will.
But then I guess you have, if Justin gives her space and Sonny tells her he can't see her because he's busy with Dana, she then has to sit on her own and have her own thoughts, and then maybe she'll come to some kind of self-awareness where she's realizing that she's been absolutely vile. I don't know. I just think, because all she's doing is just babbling at Sonny and not actually dealing with any of it.
Yeah, you're right. Give us a break, all of you.
Honestly, it looks like at the end of the trailer on Friday that it's going on to next week, and I was like, I don't think I can. I don't think I can do it. Oh, have you got the energy? Have you got the energy to go?
We can always just ban it off next week's pod.
That's true, but we have to watch it. We still have to get through the episodes, even if we don't talk about them.
It's true. Where's Harper? We need her back with her woes.
At least her woes are interesting. Right now, her woes are quite interesting. I want to know where she is and whether she's with Mama. And
it's not often you can say that, is it?
Not often I miss Harper, I'll be honest. In fact, put it in the book because it's that rare. Right, Si, it's time for your say on the bay.
My say on the bay.
I always wait for that. Please allow me my one highlight of the week. No,
Granted.
It's not your say. It's the part of the pod where we hear from other people, you guys out there listening right now, what you thought of what's happening in the bay this week. Because it's not all about us. You've just heard us rant on for about an hour, I think. Thank you for staying for all of that. We needed it, get it off our chest. But I think you guys need it as well, because we've had quite a few people filling the form in this week and giving us their thoughts. And I think they need to get these off their chest. So we'll do that for you. But a cathartic kind of group therapy, which is kind of what Leah needs, I think. But there we go. Yeah. Maybe Leah should write a form to us. No, that would be bad. That would be...
Yes.
I'm not reading that out. Anyway.
She'd crash the form.
She probably would. Yeah. We don't have time. Don't have time for that. Don't have time for you, Leah. So last year we launched our new website, didn't we? coastalnewspod.com.
Yes.
And with it came our form, the Your Sound the Bay form. So if you go there, coastalnewspod.com, you find the form in the Your Sound the Bay section, fill it in, put your name in, fill in the box that tells us what your thoughts are. We want to know what you think about the episodes that you've watched this week. What do you think of everything that's going on? Have you got an opinion on Harper and Tane? Have you got an opinion on Harper and Mum and Tane and Joe, Leah and Sunny, and that, triangle with Dana? What do you think? So if you think you want to share some thoughts with us, and we might just read them out next week on the podcast, if you go to coastalnewspod.com and fill the form in, we might read it out next week. Or alternatively, we are on social medias. So we are on Threads, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, etc. We're at coastalnewspod.com. And we also tweet along, don't we? We tweet along when we watch the show. So 6:30 till 7 p.m, Monday to Friday, we talk to people on X, Twitter, etc., using the Home and Away hashtag, Home and Away UK hashtag, sorry. And people jump on there at 6:30 when they're watching the show, and they tweet something and they put hashtag Home and Away UK, and then we all look at what's on that hashtag and we all, have a discussion about what's happening right now as we're watching it, which is really good fun. So if you can't fill the form in, but you are watching the show live and you want to get your thoughts out and talk to other Home and Away fans, you can do that on Twitter, can't you? At 6:30.
Yes. Come along. Come on down.
It's good fun, I think. So we have had some people using, in fact, 4 people this week have sent their thoughts to us on the old form, which is very exciting. So thank you guys for taking the time to fill the form in. The first person that got in contact is Emma. Hi, Emma.
Hello, hooroo. First one of the year.
No, I think Emma's been on before recently. Can't remember. I think she was on before recently, a couple of weeks ago. But we do get regular messages from Emma. It's really nice. We used to get emails from Emma. Now we get forms from Emma, which is great. So Emma's going to kick off her comment with observations about Harper. Now we've just been talking about Harper, haven't we? Briefly. So Emma says, Harper, wow. Honestly, she dumps Archie on anyone at any given moment, and because Tane decides to protect Archie from potentially meeting druggy granny. Yes, she says Tane should be more adult and not just take off with baby Archie. Yeah. But she's put shade on both sides there. She's saying she's dumped him off on anybody, because she did dump him off on Maz, didn't she, this week to go see somebody? Was it Dana?
Yeah, she does, and she does that a lot, to be fair.
Yes, she does that a lot, but yet, has a problem with Tane, not being happy with her dumping her off and going off and.
That's a good point that we didn't raise, actually. To be fair,
yeah.
Is it double standards?
Yes, potentially, isn't it? Yeah. Yes. She also has some things to say about Tane, though. So not just he should be more adult and not take off with the baby, but also she says, I don't like jealous Tane. No, I don't think we do either, do we? Although it is kind of funny. It's kind of amusing, but in a kind of watch it through your fingers kind of, God. Yeah. She says you could say he was actually a little bit desperate around Joe and too many red flags. I think you could definitely say that. Definitely say desperate and red flags. As normal, Tane just went after what he wanted. Literally his own words. Yeah. Went after what he wanted. That's what he said. He said, I'm off to get what I want. And that made me cringe. Leave Joe alone, she says. Better off with Eddie. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, anyone but Tane at this rate, really.
Yeah. And I'm not going to lie, Joe and Eddie aren't really lighting me fire.
No, me neither. Yeah.
But yeah, it's not. I'd recommend anyone to Stay away from. You wouldn't touch Tane with a barge pole, would you? And you'd tell everyone the same.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have said that 2 or 3 years ago, but I definitely would say that now.
Yeah.
Not with someone, not even with someone else's doll.
Knowing what we know.
Yes. She's got a question for us. Are we going to see a big Leah versus Dana showdown? Ooh.
I hope so.
That would be good. Yeah.
They're both very good actresses, and
they are.
That would be a scene that I would be like, oh yeah.
And these are the scenes that are iconic, aren't they? Like the two sort of strong female soap characters having a bit of a, like the Peggy and Pat era.
Yeah.
From EastEnders.
You cow.
Get out my pub.
What they start saying it there in the kitchen. She's like, you bitch, you care, and they slap each other back. Yeah.
It's iconic though. You remember it.
Yeah.
And like there was all the American kind of soaps have those bitch fights as they call them, don't they? So yeah, we love a bitch fight. I don't know whether it will get to that. I don't know. We'll see. But she says Leah does give main character vibes. Oh, she really does. And Dana has a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Although we'll get onto that on the podcast in the future, but does she really?
Well, I think it's her mum's stuff, isn't it?
She's taking it on, though.
Yes.
If you've decided you don't want to talk to your mum, what's changed? Nothing, really. So...
yeah, she's wallowing.
Yeah, she is a bit.
Yeah.
But we'll get onto that, I'm sure, in a future pod.
Oh, dear. She says, Leah finally being nice to Lacey, but it did feel a bit OTT/creepy.
Yeah, well, this is why I was getting the fake vibes. Do you remember me saying? As time goes on a bit, I'm climbing down from that hill.
Are you?
A little bit. I'm not totally closed off, but I felt like if that was it would have come out by now, because Leah's not really in the mood for keeping up appearances, is she?
Yeah, that's true. Although I was thinking about what you said. You know, when Sarge went into the diner and mentioned the barbecue, and Justin couldn't go because he was busy, and then he invited Leah on her own, and Leah on her own, she was like, "Oh no, I don't want to go and hang out with the Langhams." But then she changed her mind when Sonny was going. So
that's true.
At first, I was like, it is a bit fake because she doesn't really want to hang out with David and Lacey. So maybe there is some bad feeling still there.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
but I don't know. Don't know. Like you say, it's hard to tell, isn't it, with her?
Yeah, and I feel like it probably would have come out by now.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I could be wrong.
Don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out next week. Because it is rolling into next week, unfortunately, guys. Stay with us. Eden. Eden's the next topic for Emma. Eden has lost her identity. She was in a band. The band no longer exists. One member is living her best life, touring the world. And another member is dead. R.I.P. Theo. And Remy, the millionaire, is creating his own record label away from the band. And Eden herself has only just got married to the love of her life. Now she is known as Mrs. Cash. We have to remember that Eden is very independent and probably doesn't like being known as Mrs. Cash. Another storyline that we don't want to see is Eden become submissive and become Cash's little police wife at home in her apron cooking muffins or pavlovas. I like the specificity of the muffins or pavlovas.
Aussie.
Yes, very interesting though, because I don't see her as Cash's little wife yet. Do you?
No, but there was this conversation, wasn't there, about her being only that's all she is.
I think that's what she thinks other people see her as, but I don't think other people do see her as that.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think it's definitely an insular thing, isn't it? That, a self-reflection rather than what people are saying to her and treating her like.
Yeah. I think it's insecurity.
That's sort of harping back to it's harping back to that void. That void.
Oh God, my life's a void. Yeah,
isn't it?
Yes. I forgot about the void. I did forget. But Emma says, I think we need to watch Eden create her new identity, which could be really exciting because she's quite a complex character. So volunteering could be really interesting. I agree. I think this could be a really good thing. I hope they don't just park this after a couple of episodes and we never hear about it again. because I think this is good.
Yeah, we talked about potentials on the main part of the pod, didn't we? About what this could open up in terms of opportunity. So, yeah, interested.
Definitely.
Don't let us down.
So she's interested in Eden, but she's not interested in Bree and Remy at all. In fact, she says, I don't care that Bree and Remy had a quick hookup before she left. I think my eyes might actually roll, and said I don't care. But I guess if Remy ever decides to leave, there's always a good exit line for him to go and be with Bree. That's a good point.
True.
Yeah, hadn't thought about that. That is a good, if he does need to scoot off at any point.
It's nicely set up, isn't it?
Yeah, that is pretty good, because his exit is, Again, though, I would want to be murdered. I'd want to be killed off, but there we go.
You would want something big, wouldn't you?
I'd want a big bang exit, you know?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, yes. So, yeah. And then the last sort of comment that Emma's made is about Harper. Where's Harper living? So I kind of asked you this, didn't I? Like, we haven't seen her since Tuesday. She's supposed to have moved out. She's supposed to have had Cash helping her, but we've not seen her rock up at Dana's house yet, which is where I was expecting her to be. We've not seen boxes in the living room, as if she's moved in, and we just haven't seen her on screen. She doesn't seem to be anywhere right now. So, she's saying, where does Harper live? I assume she's going to move in with Dana and Sunny, but, now there's no Bree. But Tane doesn't think she's living with Dana. So where is Harper living? That is a good question. We don't know. We still don't know.
Yeah, very good question.
Don't know. Maybe we'll get the answer next week. I'm hoping we do, because
and I hope it's bad.
I hope it's. I want to get the popcorn out ready. I'll be honest. Yes.
I hope she's in some trailer but it's got no wheels, and it's Mum's drug den.
Oh God!
Yeah,
that would be hilarious. Hilarious.
On the wrong side of the river.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. That'll be good. Okay, next comment is from Tamsin. So Tamsin, you may know, hello Tamsin. She's been on the podcast before, and you may know her from her own podcast, which is called Pop Goes the Tam Tam, which is, as you can probably deduce from the title, is a wonderful sort of pop culture podcast where Tamsin talks about TV shows and films, old and new, actually, iconic moments, storylines, characters, lots of things. It's really fun. It's kind of nostalgic as well, because she does recap sort of iconic films and TV shows, as well as looking at new shows that are coming out. So if you haven't checked out Pop Goes the Tam Tam podcast, go and check that out. She's been on this podcast a few times, hasn't she, as a guest host when I've needed to duck out. So thank you for that, Tamsin. But Tamsin,
and we've done home and away stuff with her.
We have, yes.
Something is coming.
Oh yes, there is something in the pipeline, isn't there, that you've done? Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, keep your eyes and your ears peeled for that, guys, as well. So there's that is, I guess, iconic and nostalgic, I would say, that episode.
Yes, without saying too much.
Definitely. That will be a good one. So Tamsin's wrote in and said, I just want to echo what you guys said on the podcast last week about Bree. She's a character who had so much potential but was ultimately wasted. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Everyone's sort of saying this is no one's really going, oh, that's a shame, because I wanted to see where she would go. Everyone's going, yeah, she didn't really go anywhere, did she?
No,
it's a shame.
What did she do?
What did she do? Yeah.
And when a character leaves, you do that reflection piece, don't you? And it's like, it doesn't really go very far here.
Yeah, like if we had to do a montage of all her best bits, I don't think it would be very long.
Oh my God, yeah.
It would it? It's a shame. Yeah, but ultimately wasted, I think. Yeah, that sums it up quite well, Tamsin, I think. And then Tamsin says, I'm glad that being a victim of abuse, Bree is getting a happy ending and moving forward with her life and her career. I hope we don't get a Bree and Remy baby down the track, though. Oh.
Well, it did cross my mind as well, I must say. That last fling for a reason, for something.
Yeah.
And it does open up if Remy is like a more long-term thing, because there's a wider discussion here about the show needing to instill a couple more long-term characters.
Yeah.
That will take the show into the future, because we've got this chasm between the old ones that are going to go in quick succession, let's face it, and the new ones. We need some characters to go. There's only really Justin in that middle space and Leah. So Remy, who is 28, come 48, you decide.
I think he's 29, doll. Figure 5.
We've been doing this joke over a year. So if he moves into that space, there is room for a child to come and knock in.
Yeah.
In the future, isn't there? Because of that one night stand.
Ooh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, true. But then Tamsin does say after this week we probably won't hear from her again, though. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is the way, isn't it? Yeah.
That isn't the normal way that things go. But then look at Brax and Ricky; they're coming back soon, and we never thought they would.
Yeah, but I mean, Brax is on another level. That's a massive stunt, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
Promotional.
Yeah.
Doodah.
But we have.
If you said Bree's coming back, we're not all going to be tuning into that.
Well, to be honest, in 2 months' time, I'll probably be like, "Who? Who was that again?"
Exactly.
Yeah. Remind me, which one was that? Yeah. Oh, sorry, Bree. I feel bad, but it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You weren't utilised, and yeah. Yes. Another one who has not had as much potential as possibly could have, Tamsin says, is what's happened to Abby. She's been relegated to Marley's shadow, or the younger sibling to Eden and Levi. I'd like Abby to get her own storyline, but she seems to have been squeezed out by Lacey. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has now you say it, yeah.
Lacey's had a lot, hasn't she? And she's a newbie character, but she's been in every scene practically, hasn't she, since she started? Has been Lacey.
Yeah, she has. She's, which is a mistake because the Langhams aren't really it, are they? Let's face it. However, because Abby, to me, has sort of slotted into the light relief, the comedy stuff really well.
Definitely.
For me.
Yeah.
I think she's great at that, the actress.
She's like a young John Palmer to me.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's what the writers have seen, and that's why we've gone that way with her.
Yeah. Because she's like the shoulder,
rather than dramatic.
She's the shoulder to lean on. Like if someone's in salt and she's on shift, she's there, like listen to their problems, pouring them a drink or whatever. But then also like this week, I have laughed. Like she's been in a couple of like blink and you miss it scenes, like the one where she was coming down the stairs with something to go to the recycling bin or something, and Cash came in his running gear, and she went, "Yeah, go out and carry on running." And he was like, what do you mean? And she was like, "I warned you, like she's on the warpath, like she's coming down the stairs right now." And that made me laugh. And she was only in it for about 30 seconds. But it's a good segue between scenes, because it's like setting up the next one, because Eden's coming down the stairs, fuming, and she's about to lay into him. But also it's kind of funny because she's like, "Yeah, run, get out of here." Like,
yeah.
And she does that really well. She does that comedy kind of which I think is what John Palmer's really good at as well.
Yeah. Just got sort of dropped in there between drama, because it does, particularly lately since we've come back in the new season. The balance has been off a bit. So I think she plays an important role, but I do take what Tamsin is saying in that she's not at the forefront. She's not got a lot to do.
No.
And it's because all these big characters have had stuff to go on, and it is interesting that the Langhams have had so much time
yes
dedicated to them when they came second.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we could do with a storyline for Abby, or of her own. I think I'd like to see something a bit more positive,
but I'd like it to be feel good. Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't want it to be really dark and horrible. I want it to be.
She came into the show dark, didn't she?
Oh God, yeah.
And I feel like we need to see. Happy Abby is really good fun. Like Fun Abby is really good. It would be nice to get something sort of for her that's a bit more.
And it shows the audience that you can overcome horrendous things.
Yeah.
And this is the other side of it.
Yeah. Maybe you'll get your wish, Tamsin. We're only in February, so you never know. We've got the rest of the year. Who knows? Maybe she'll get something. by the end. Maybe by the time the bogies come round, she'll be like best storyline or something. We never know. You never know. Next, we've got Jamie, who says, as you might already be aware, I really, really can't stand Leah. Now, for those of you that know Jamie on the tweet along that we do on Twitter at 6:30 p.m, Jamie's not shy about talking about his lack of love for Leah. Let's put it that way. So yeah, we do know, Jamie, that you've got a long-standing issue with this character. So Jamie says, for her to say this week that Justin doesn't understand her grief when he witnessed his parents being murdered and his little brother shot dead in the hospital, get lost. She can get in the bin.
You said this, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, it was so obvious, wasn't it? Get in the bin or the sea, whichever she chooses. And then he says, Minnie ran over, have a nice weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you, Jamie.
I hope it helped getting it off your chest.
I think we all needed this, Jamie. We all feel the get in the sea, Leah, I think, this week, because she has been horrific. And you're right, and I came to the same conclusion. Justin is grief. He's walking grief. He's been through every grief you could imagine. So
the guy ended up a drug addict. I mean, how's that not come up yet?
He's the epitome of a grieving person. He's everyone he's ever loved, apart from Tori, has died, I think. So yeah, it is weird. The way they've chosen to execute Leah's grief is weird, isn't it? In that respect, it's almost forgetting that Justin's been hid and that bought the t-shirt.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Very weird.
No wonder the guy doesn't do a day's work. I wouldn't either.
Exactly. I'd be traumatized. Bless him, trotting off to his grief counselling. Right, yeah. Anyway, well, thank you, Jamie. And then we've got Sam to end the comments. So Sam said, I love the scene with Remy and Dana on the beach. She's a good egg. She's got a good heart. Yeah, that was nice, actually. Yeah. Checked in with him just to see how he was doing, with the Bree thing, and kind of sounding him out like, oh, so about the leaving do, and how do you feel about that, bud?
How you doing? Yeah, it was the only, but I don't think she's been doing that enough to other people.
No.
I said this last week when I talked about being disappointed in her a bit. That scene was gorgeous, I agree, but it was the only one. Like, there's so many other people affected by what's gone on lately.
Yes. Yeah. She's been sort of consumed, I guess, by her own stuff going on, hasn't she? And the fact that her boyfriend is being monopolized by Leah, I think, has got to her. And yeah, maybe give her a bit of grace. But yeah, we could see a bit more of this, couldn't we? Really?
Yeah. I think we could.
I tell you what I like, talking about Dana and scenes with Dana, was the Eden and Dana stuff this week, and I want to see more of that going forward.
Yes, I think they make good friends, actually.
They do.
And if Eden might be at the hospital a bit more.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Yes. Okay, Sam says, I really get Harper's anger at Tane, but going to a solicitor is messy and expensive. I saw it with my olds. And when I split with my daughter's mum, we navigated everything without solicitors by being open and honest, but mainly by realising it wasn't about us. Yeah.
Well, if only people were as, adult as you are, Sam, honestly.
Yeah. I think that's the problem, isn't it? Not everyone is like that, and unfortunately, there are some people out there that are a bit selfish.
Some people are very emotional.
Yes.
They can't put those emotions aside for the sake of the children. Some people just get consumed by their emotions, don't they? And I actually find I'm quite in tune as well. I'm quite a little bit like that, but I'm more self-aware than some.
Yes.
I would like to think.
I think you are. Yeah.
I find other emotional people difficult to handle as an emotional person. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just think, oh my God, I don't even know. Oh my God, I'm going to take this on now, and I'm just like, do you know what I mean? I couldn't just find it very difficult.
It's draining, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather deal with somebody who's a straight talker to the fact, and it'd be like, bam.
Yes.
This is what we need to do then. This is a solution.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think it's okay to be emotional and to vent your emotions and that kind of thing. I think the problem is when you don't have that self-awareness to actually see, okay, I've vented now, but now I need to work on this and I need to get past this and I need to get to a conclusion.
Yeah.
It's the ones that dump all their problems out on you, but then they don't want to do anything about their problems. They just want to wallow. And it's like, only you get to a point where you're like, you can't wallow anymore. You've got to deal with this. You've got to wake up.
Yeah.
Like, you can be emotional and sensitive, but you've got to be practical and logical.
And as someone who doesn't have kids, I would be thinking, surely you would get there faster with children, but some people don't, do they?
No.
And here we are. This is a prime example of a couple who are mixed up in this weird thing where she loves him and he doesn't, and then there's this weird thing, isn't there, where they've got this fake family going on, which hasn't helped anyone move on emotionally.
Yeah.
And now they're disagreeing about something, and everyone is just so heightened, and it's about them two, like this, and what they feel about each other, not about what's best for Archie rationally.
Yes.
Yeah. And I imagine it's very, very common.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about my parents' divorce back in the day. Like, I don't think we suffered for it, but we definitely missed out on things because of arguing and emotions and stuff.
Yeah.
And you hear, do you know what it is? You hear things. Thank God Archie's as young as he is, because the children hear things, they carry things, and then they form opinions really young. They're hard to shake.
Yes.
Going forward. And at the end of the day, people are human, even if they've made mistakes.
Yeah, and if they've made mistakes, that's the thing. When your parents are in the heat of the moment and they're angry at that other person, that's raw emotion, and whatever they come out with is in the heat of the moment raw. But as a child, you don't understand that, and you just think, oh, they're really bad because they've made my mum feel this way, or they've made my dad feel this way, and you can't then shake that opinion.
No.
It's really hard.
No.
Yeah.
No. And obviously, if you're like me as well, I used to listen in on phone, didn't I? Upstairs.
We all did. We all did that. You'd hear that little click, and you'd be like, someone on the line.
The youth listening today won't understand the stress of doing that.
No. True. Yeah. So we'll have to see. Will they get any more adults?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're both pretty hot-headed and confrontational and self-absorbed. But there we go. Yeah. Tane more than Harper, but she gives him a good fight, I think. Yes. Sam also wants to talk about the Langham daughters. So Joe and Lacey. He says, are they late 20s or tweens? They could be so cringe. I can't decide if Eddie is actually playing and singing as well. Yeah. I'm not sure about any of that. So I don't know how old the Langhams are supposed to be. All I know is that Joe is older than Lacey. I don't really know what... I'm assuming they're in the 20s.
They are playing young, aren't they?
Yeah.
When I think about myself in my 20s.
Yeah. And Eddie, I don't know. I don't think he can play guitar, but I'm happy to be told otherwise.
I think any music on the show is all to track, isn't it? Surely for...
Yeah, but some of them can actually play guitar, but he doesn't even look like he knows where to put his hands.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit weird. They either do a close-up of his face when he's singing, or they do a really wide-angle shot of him playing guitar.
Oh, right. Yeah. So you can't see what he's doing as much.
Yes. I have noticed. But I haven't decided whether he's faking the guitar or not. I'm not sure. And then lastly, Sam says, I really liked Bree. Yes, they could have done more with her, but I loved her surfing scenes. And he put in bracket, red-blooded male, sorry, not sorry.
Fair enough, at least you're honest.
Can't judge you, Sam. I'm as bad with cash, so I can't judge you. But he says, I thought this was funny. It was very fitting that she left in her worst ever shirt. Now, if you are part of the tweet-along, you might know that there are several people on the tweet-along on Twitter that absolutely hate one of Bree's shirts that looks like a few tea towels that have been kind of stitched together. And I think Mr. David is probably the biggest hater of the shirt. And she was wearing it the day that she said goodbye to everybody, said goodbye to the bait. It was very funny that they picked that shirt for her to go off into the sunset in. So that did make me laugh.
Maybe it was wardrobe saying this shirt's going with her.
Yes, you'll never see this shirt again. Don't worry, it's gone to Belgium. Could be that. It could. Hopefully, it's that, because if someone else turns up wearing it, I think Mr. David might explode. Oh dear. So, just to say thank you to everybody. So, thank you, Emma. Thank you, Tamsin. Thank you, Jamie, and thank you, Sam. Thank you for filling out the form. Without it, there would be no Your Say on the Bay.
Please take the time to like, subscribe, and review Coastal News wherever you source your podcasts, and ensure you never miss an episode.